For all you busy moms and people out there, today I'm helping you get dinner on the table fast during the week with 5 super easy family-friendly chicken freezer meals. So here's what we're making today. Chicken noodle soup, slow cooker shredded buffalo chicken, a Greek lemon chicken and potatoes, delicious, a Thai chicken curry, and then last but not least, Cool Ranch chicken tacos. All the recipes will be linked in the description box below, so let's go. So I've got all of my freezer bags lined up here, and I like to use these bag holders. They really do make a huge difference when you're putting together a bunch of freezer meals. It makes it so much easier, cleaner. You don't have the mess. You don't have to worry about your bags spilling all over the place, so I'll link those down below. We are gonna make Greek lemon chicken and potatoes. I'm really excited to try this freezer meal. So this one is a little bit different in that I've got bone-in chicken breasts instead of boneless, skinless. I did remove the skin from them, but they are just regular chicken breasts on the bone. I've got 2 of those in here. I've got a bag of gold petite potatoes. These are already washed. Some olive oil. We're also going to use some salt and pepper, lemons, and oregano. We're going to use the zest and the juice from these lemons, so it probably goes without saying, but you obviously want to zest the lemon before you juice it. It's kind of hard to do that after you juice the lemon. This is what's called a microplane grater. If you don't have one of these, you can always try to use the small holes on a regular box grater, but I use this all the time for citrus zest. I find that it works really well. I'll link mine down below. Okay, and we'll just juice these lemons. And then we're gonna add, I don't know, probably about 3 tablespoons of olive oil, some pepper, about 2 teaspoons of salt. I'll probably just add, I don't know, most of this oregano. It's just gonna cook and flavor the potatoes and the chicken. And then we're just gonna have these little Yukon Gold potatoes and add those in the bag. For the potatoes that were really small, I just put those in whole. But I am gonna kind of shake this around a little bit just to get that olive oil mixed up with the potatoes. It smells delicious, by the way. I guess I'm assuming you could cook this in the slow cooker, but this one is actually an Instant Pot meal. When it's time to serve it, you just cook it in the Instant Pot, and then you can garnish it with a little bit of fresh parsley or oregano and some feta cheese. Yum. This is all thawed out. We've got our chicken, oregano, potatoes in here, and I'm just gonna dump all this in the Instant Pot. I'm gonna go ahead and add just a sprinkle of salt just because I wanna make sure that chicken is seasoned. And then we're gonna go ahead and stick the lid on this. We're gonna pressure cook this on high for 15 minutes. Sometimes I get questions on which Instant Pot I have. So this is a 6-quart Instant Pot, and I'll link it down below. I ordered it on Amazon. I also have an 8-quart Instant Pot. I like having the larger one for when I make larger batches of things like chicken stock and things like that. Obviously they all work the same, and I've even had off-brand Instant Pots, like a Kasori one before, and they work just fine. The one that I originally purchased like 7-8 years ago, I don't think that model is available anymore. But I really like this one because I just feel like the interface is very easy to use and intuitive. Our chicken and potatoes are done. I let the Instant Pot do a natural pressure release for about 10 minutes. And what I'm gonna do now is just go through and remove the oregano stems. But you can see here, I already kind of tried to shred the chicken, how well it shreds. Let's try a little bit dipped in that. There's like a lemon sauce in the bottom. Oh man, that is really good. I'm like almost shocked by how, if you like lemon chicken, seriously try this. Okay, let's try a potato. Hot. Okay, that's delightful. Yum. I'm so excited about this. If you like any type of lemony chicken or Greek food, try this. It is so delicious. I crumbled up some feta over the top, I added a lemon because I'm going to take a pretty picture of it. But yeah, this one's a winner. This one is super easy. Don't blink or you're going to miss it. So this is Cool Ranch chicken tacos. In my freezer bag here, I've already got my frozen chicken breasts. About 2 pounds, I would say. That's, you know, about 6 chicken breasts, depending on how big they are. I've got some chicken stock here, 1 lime, and then a packet of taco seasoning mix. And then you need a packet of ranch seasoning mix. However, I always keep this on hand. I buy it in bulk on Amazon. I can link it down below. It's delicious. It's green onion dip mix, but it tastes basically like ranch. One of the questions I get about freezer meals sometimes is, do you have to mix like the ingredients together before you put them in the bag? And I would say, you know, for the most part, no. If you have something like a marinade or something, or like a curry sauce or something like that, you know, that I might mix together before I put it in the bag. But like this, I'm gonna add a little bit of liquid to it. So in this case, I'm just adding the dry ingredients first, and then when I pour the liquids over, I can kind of smush it together and mix it. So I'm gonna go ahead and add my lime juice, just the juice of 1 lime. And then about 1/2 cup of chicken broth. This is actually chicken stock that I had in the refrigerator, so it's a little bit gelatiny like regular chicken stock is. If you don't have any chicken stock on hand, just add a little water. It's gonna be just fine. And then, like I said, I'll go ahead and mix this up, label it, stick it in the freezer. Bang, bam, bang, bang, boom. We got ourselves a freezer meal. So tonight we're gonna do our Cool Ranch chicken tacos. So I've got my contents of the freezer bag in here. I just ran some warm water over this just to kind of defrost the liquid a little bit and loosen it from the bag. So I'm gonna put this in the slow cooker and we're gonna do low for about 7 hours. After the chicken was cooked, I went ahead and shredded it just right in the crock pot and mixed it in with the liquids. We had this as tacos, but you could also make quesadillas or burrito bowls with it. It was so good. So we're gonna do freezer chicken noodle soup. So in my bag here, I went ahead and already put my chicken in there. I've just got 4 kind of small to medium chicken breasts that are frozen. And then for seasonings, I've got oregano, basil, garlic powder, and bay leaves. Some chicken bouillon powder, 1 onion, I've got some celery and carrots, and then when you cook the dish, so we won't need this till the day of cooking, you'll need some egg noodles. So in order to save time with this particular recipe, I tried to find like the pre-chopped carrot, onion, celery mix, but my store didn't have it. So I just went ahead and bought this mix of pre-washed celery and baby carrots, and then I will go ahead and chop the onion up myself. So you can use regular whole carrots. You just probably want to peel them, and I'm just going to slice these into coins. That's about 1 cup of chopped carrot. I'm going to add that. So for celery, I like to kind of cut it lengthwise before I cut it crosswise, just because I want smaller chunks, but you can do it however you like if you like larger ones. And honestly, to make this even quicker, I'm pretty sure that you can find pre-chopped carrot, onion, and celery in the freezer section. I probably should have looked there. So I don't know, that's about 3/4 of a cup celery. So we've got most of our ingredients in the freezer bag. We've got chicken, carrots, onion, and celery. Now we're gonna add seasoning. So about 1.5 teaspoons of garlic powder, 1.5 teaspoons of dried basil, 1 teaspoon of dried oregano. We'll add a bay leaf, and then some ground pepper. I get a ton of questions about this pepper mill. I'll link it down below. I like it because you can basically grind the pepper into this little reservoir here, and then if you want to measure it out, obviously you can. I usually just eyeball it, but it's super convenient for that, and then you just fill up the peppercorns in here. And then the last thing is 2.5 tablespoons of chicken bouillon. I really love this Knorr chicken bouillon. I use it in tons of dishes. It gives a lot of flavor. What we'll end up doing when we go to cook this is actually adding all of this to the crock pot, then adding the water. So the water is gonna kind of create that chicken broth with all of the spices and the seasoning. So I'm gonna label this, zip it up, and put it in the freezer. I'm gonna go ahead and put my contents in here from the bag. If you find that there's a couple spices still kind of in the bottom of here, you can rinse it out with a little bit of water. I'm gonna add 8 cups of water. I'm just gonna kind of make sure that the chicken is submerged and mix up the spices with the water just a little bit. Now I've got my egg noodles here, so we'll go ahead and add those at the end, obviously. But for this particular recipe, so since my chicken breasts are still partially frozen, I've got about 6 hours till dinner. I'm gonna start this on high, and then as soon as it kind of comes to heat and starts bubbling away and maybe cooks for an hour, I'll turn it down to low. If you're gonna cook this all day, I would say cook it on low for 8 hours, high for 4 hours. Since the chicken breasts are kind of small, they probably won't need a ton of cook time. Okay, so our chicken is done. I'm gonna go ahead and remove this just into a bowl so I can shred it. Okay, so we're gonna add the shredded chicken back into the broth. And then we're gonna add 8 ounces of dry egg noodles, which is about 2/3 of this bag. And these will just cook in the broth. Depending on how much they kind of expand, we might have to add a little bit of extra broth, but we'll kind of gauge that. So I'll put the lid on this. Depending on the temperature that your slow cooker runs at, usually this takes about 20 to 30 minutes. So just keep it covered and then check it, see until the noodles are tender. Okay, so my noodles are finished. I did add about 2 extra cups of chicken broth, and a trick I have is to squeeze the juice of a lemon in when you're done making your chicken soup. It just adds a little bit of brightness to the soup. You're not gonna taste, like it's not gonna taste like lemony or anything like that. It's just gonna add a little bit of brightness. So here's our bay leaf. Let's take that out. This slow cooker chicken noodle soup turned out so good. I highly, highly recommend it. We had it with some rolls, and then I made some veggies and kind of a cheese and cracker tray on the side, but super kid friendly. So if you're looking for a family friendly dinner that's super easy and delicious, recommend this one highly. So we're gonna make some freezer chicken curry, which I love, so can't wait for this one. I've got some cubed chicken breast here, some chicken stock, some red curry paste. You can probably use any color of curry paste that you want, green or yellow, whatever you can find in the store. Brown sugar, fish sauce, soy sauce, and then I just chopped up some bell pepper and some onion. I left the pieces pretty large because you have to remember when you cook things like this down in the slow cooker, it gets very soft and kind of falls apart a little bit. So cutting them into larger chunks is not gonna hurt at all. And then I've also got some garlic and some ginger paste. So I was thinking for this one, I would whisk everything together in a bowl, but let's try to put it in the bag and mix it up that way. We'll see how that works. I'm gonna add 1 cup of chicken stock. This particular curry paste comes in an envelope, so it's easy to squeeze out, but the Thai Kitchen's brand, which I sometimes get at the store, comes in a jar. But we're gonna add, how much is that? I don't know, 3 to 4 tablespoons. About 1.5 tablespoons of brown sugar. I'm also gonna add 1.5 tablespoons of soy sauce, and then 1.5 tablespoons of fish sauce. And then I love the convenience of these ginger and garlic paste. You can get them in the produce aisle. So I'm gonna add about 1 tablespoon of ginger, and then probably a little over 1 tablespoon of garlic. I'm just gonna go ahead and whisk this up in the bag, and I think that's gonna work just fine. Okay, I'm gonna add my chicken, and then I'm gonna add my peppers and onions, and then I'll just mix it up a little bit, and this one is done. For this particular recipe, after it's cooked, add lime juice and coconut milk into the slow cooker, and then obviously you can eat it with rice, garnish it with cilantro. For this one, I really recommend using the other brand of curry paste, the Thai Kitchen red curry paste. I don't prefer this one that I used today, so I feel like the flavor could have been a little bit better, but other than that, it was pretty good. The reason I like this recipe is because you can really use it for so many things. Once you cook the buffalo chicken in the slow cooker, you can use it for pizza, quesadillas, you can put it on sandwiches, wraps, salads, bowls, you can make buffalo chicken dip with it, so many different things. So in here I've got some chicken breast. You need some ranch seasoning mix. I'm going to use the Laura Scudder's green onion dip mix, 1 bottle of Frank's Red Hot, and then just a half a stick of butter. So I'm going to go ahead and sprinkle in my ranch seasoning. We'll add our butter, and then the whole bottle of Frank's Red Hot. Obviously that mixed with the juice from the chicken, and the butter is going to make the buffalo sauce. And the good thing about this one is that it's basically a one-pot meal, right? So once it's cooked in the slow cooker, you can just shred it right in there with a fork and then use it however you want. So we've got our buffalo chicken mixture here. This is partially thawed. The chicken's still frozen. I'm gonna rinse this out with just a little bit of water, and then I'm gonna cook this on high for 4 hours. So you can see this chicken is very tender and cooked. So I'm just gonna use one of these meat choppers that I have. So we are back with our buffalo shredded chicken. So I did try this after I shredded it in the crock pot. You guys gotta try this. I have never made it before with the ranch packet combined with the buffalo sauce. It turned out so good. I had some for lunch on like a bowl salad type deal, and I took some out of here now for dinner. I'm gonna make Adam and Connor some buffalo chicken quesadillas. Buffalo chicken quesadillas, I just toasted them in a skillet with some avocado oil spray and tortillas and some cheese ranch dressing. Super good, highly recommend. Which one of these chicken freezer meals are you guys most excited to try? Let me know in the comments below. And if you want to see me make 10, yes 10 freezer meals, I've got a mega freezer meals video right here for you. So watch that next.